Welcome to The Simple Fix, a myth-free movement podcast from KezaWellness. I'm Kerryn, your host, a coach who blends strength, Pilates, and pain science so that you can move well, feel great, and live boldly without the hype. All right, welcome back to The Simple Fix. I'm your host, Kerryn, and I'm joined in studio today with our guest, Rob. Rob is many things, okay? He is a creator, an actor, coach, and a founder. And today we're going to find out a little bit more about all of that. Hopefully learn a thing or two. And I think it's going to be quite an enjoyable episode, mostly because he does an all right South African accent. So that'll come out every now and then.
All right.
And then you as the listener will have to guess which one of us is actually South African. And I think that'll be quite fun as well. Yeah. Okay, Rob, thank you so much for spending a Thursday afternoon with me
You're welcome.
In the studio.
Thanks for having me.
So Rob and I met through his lovely wife, who has fast become one of my favorite people. Rob's just like the collateral. He comes with it. It's fine. Yeah. A very, very interesting young couple who live here in London, both of them entrepreneurs, both of them really like going for the life that they want, which is what we like to talk about here. I love to talk to inspiring people and figure out how they get it done and what all they're getting done. So, no pressure. So, Rob, let's start from the beginning. So you're like 104 now, but you're once a young man.
I'm 104 and 3/4 as of last week, which is exciting. And I've achieved a lot.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Fresh out of school, where did you get to? Where did you go?
So after school, I went to Nottingham, to university. Actually, I had a year out between school and university.
Okay, a little gap year.
A bit of a gap year.
Little gap year shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did you do anything with your gap year?
Yeah, so on that, I started off working in a job that I hated in
your gap year?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like events management. So I worked for a company that called it, the company was great. I just didn't like the job. I won't even say what the company was called, actually.
Doesn't matter. Irrelevant.
But we
have a waiver.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm going to get sued. Great. They ran big like events. So they did like the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, and then they did the Athletes Parade at the end of the Olympics. Okay. Which were both so good.
Yeah, very cool.
And then I got put on UK trade and investment conferences or something, and it was so boring. And my boss was so patronising. And I literally was just going into work like, this is so... I think I was on 16k, which I don't think even really covered my travel because I was living in Kent with my parents. And it was awful. I actually, like all jokes aside, I think that's one of the most down I felt in my life.
Okay.
Because I was a bit
fresh out of high school.
Fresh out of school. That I was in love with a girl then who'd gone to uni, and I was like back at home. All my mates had gone to uni really, apart from ones that were like travelling or doing other things. So I was just kind of lonely.
Everyone was like living the vida loca.
Yeah.
And you were...
And I was like, what am I doing? And I wasn't even saving any money. It was just so peak. Okay. And then after that, so I was meant to go on a ski season with a friend of mine, and he went, Charlie, who you've met, I think?
Yeah.
He went anyway in December, and then I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And so I just went and joined him in January, basically.
Okay.
And then I was a chalet host for like 5 months, and I couldn't cook, so I just lied and said I could cook. And that was, again, like so horrifically stressful. The sort of things you do when you're young that you're just like, mind you, I'm still not very good at thinking about consequences for what I do things. But yeah, I remember the first like 2 weeks of that, I was just so out of my depth. Like I was looking after a chalet of 12 people, cooking obviously like 3-course meal every night for them and doing a cake every day and stuff. And I just couldn't cook. So after literally maybe 3 weeks to a month, I managed to get like 6 recipes because they'd stayed 6 days and then we travel day, lockdown, that I could just bosh out again and again.
I think that is legit my hell.
Yeah.
There's many things I feel like I can figure out in this life, but like a 3-course meal.
Yeah. It was so, and I was 18.
Olives.
I was 18. Literally, it was awful.
Olives, red wine.
Olives and then red wine. And then also to be there was white wine as well, which is very that really that was more like dessert. But yeah, so I did that, and that was literally great. The last like 3.5-4 months of it was just so good. It was kind of strange because you're in a different kind of world. You're like in a little ski resort, realistically. No matter how big the ski resort is compared to the world, it's not very big. And you don't really think about anything else other than like that world there.
Kind of in that little bubble.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess it's almost like being in a at like a boarding school, as I imagine I didn't go to a boarding school, or like, you know, being in a campus university in a small area.
Or in any form of like institutional bubble, like a little bubble, and it's just that's the whole world and you just exist there.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice because you're not thinking about anything outside of that bubble.
Exactly, yeah.
But I mean, you know, when the bubble bursts.
Yeah. Then I went travelling.
Okay.
So it was pretty good.
Classic.
When it burst.
Classic.
No, then I went to Brazil to coach football in favelas in Rio, which was such a good experience.
Could you play football?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good. And then I went to Thailand, just as you do, you know.
Okay.
Classic. And had a great time with friends.
Nice.
And then I went to university.
Okay.
And
Wow.
did a business degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that something you always wanted to do, or is more of a like little checkbox exercise? What took you to a business degree?
So I'd done a bit of acting when I was at school.
Okay.
On a CBBC show, which is like kids BBC here.
Okay.
And
No Harry Potter then?
No, it wasn't quite Harry Potter. I didn't quite make the cut for that. I feel like I could have been Malfoy, but that's anyway. Yeah. So I'd done a bit of that, and I thought maybe I want to do that, and then I was like, maybe I want to play professional sport, rugby. And so I was like, my parents said to me, just go to uni and get a degree, and then you can
do what you want.
Yeah.
Did you play rugby at uni?
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
What?
No, it's so
What
great.
position were you?
I actually, a friend of mine who we used to be so like anti like rugby.
Yeah, but the rugby boy culture.
Yeah, the
weird.
culture. Yeah, it's so grim. It's just embarrassing.
It's just strange.
Like, it's really embarrassing. Which also is part of the reason I didn't really keep playing. I was just a bit like, I just don't like. I don't like what it brings out in people. I think everyone I would say that I play with, apart from maybe a couple, are people that individually are great people.
Oh, great people.
I love hanging out
It's
with.
mob mentality, right? When they're together.
Yeah. And it's very like, and also, you know, rugby here is very much like it's a private school sport, and it's very much like an entitled bunch of white blokes. Getting a bit out of hand. So that was that. And then finished uni. I had a couple of businesses at uni. So I had a digital marketing agency and an events company that I'd started with a friend who's still a close friend of mine, but
casual.
I don't work with him. Yeah. And they were actually going pretty well. So like at the end of uni, it was kind of a weird situation that like we had businesses that were making decent money. And then I had a grad job at RBS in the investment bank at RBS, which I ended up just turning down because we were kind of busy and I was thinking I don't really want to go and work for a bank for the rest of my life.
What inspired you to get these businesses like off the ground while you're already at uni? Is it just because your ADHD is like so intense that you needed multiple things?
Yeah, yeah, maybe. I don't know really. I think I've always been someone that's like I don't really like settling.
Okay.
Like I don't like thinking, oh, that's enough. Although I'm starting to more and more actually. And then, you know, at uni I just did the classic, like I worked for someone else selling tickets for nights, and then like we got really close. Then I started like running all the other reps that were doing the tickets.
Yeah.
And then we actually started the night together, me and my boss. And then we had a few nights together, and then we started this digital agency because one of the guys that owned one of the clubs in Nottingham, he also owned a couple of wedding venues around Nottingham.
Okay.
And we were doing, this is in the days of when Facebook ads were unbelievably cheap and easy to do. So we were selling most of our tickets through Facebook ads.
Okay, cool.
And he asked us if we could get more couples in to view his venues and book in for weddings.
Okay.
And at the time, every couple between the age of 20 and 40 would put their relationship status on Facebook. So they would obviously put engaged, and then you could target them with ads, and it was literally the easiest thing ever. So yeah, we did that, and then we kind of scaled that a bit. So we had like clients all around London. We had clients up in the Midlands, and we were doing that back in London. And then I went to drama school.
Okay, so that big pivot.
Yeah, big pivot.
Okay, so I don't need to take the job in the bank.
No.
Because I've got these two little hustles that are hustling me up.
It was half that I was like, you know, I've got a job. We're making money doing this, and I've got freedom and flexibility.
Yeah.
And partly because I just didn't
want to work in a bank.
I couldn't see myself. Like I remember chatting to a couple of friends when we were away. I went travelling again after uni, and they one of them is now a trader, one of them is a consultant, and one of them is, I don't know, works in a sort of fintech. And I remember they were quite excited about starting their jobs, and I was thinking I just literally I'm dreading starting this job.
Yeah.
And I was obviously, you know, the natural progression after that was it's not going to get any better after starting. If I'm not excited now.
Well, if you're not excited in the beginning, where's it going?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess in a similar way to you, I was like, right, screw this. I'm going to try and do something I really want to do.
Yeah.
I went to drama school.
Nice. Okay, cool. What drama school did you go to?
I went to a place called the Poor School, which is now closed down.
Okay.
Which was in King's Cross. And the premise of it was that you could do evenings and you could do full-time drama school, but all evenings and weekends.
Okay, that's cool.
Which is really cool. And it's a shame it doesn't exist anymore. And it was perfect because it meant I could run the business with my mate. And then I'd actually just started doing more Instagram content at that point as well.
Okay. Is this when like Instagram's...
This is when it was all photos.
Okay. No video.
No videos. All photos. I don't even know if they had stories then.
I can actually barely remember those days.
Yeah, no, nor can I. This was, well, to be fair.
It's not even that long ago,
This was like...
You're old.
Probably 10 years ago. Something like that. About 10 years ago.
It's not that long ago.
Yeah, it's not that long ago. God.
I forget that it was just photos for a while.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then Meta bought it and we're like, maybe we do videos. And then that was kind of like the start of the end for me doing because I used to just do food content mostly on Instagram at the same time as
Which is actually hilarious because you started off in chef.
I started off also just literally having no idea. And that kind of unlocked my life actually in a way. My life's been a bit weird in that if something exciting comes up, I'll just go for it and do it. Which is definitely, sometimes is not the best approach. But I think it means that my life's just constantly moving, adapting, changing.
Yeah.
So it always feels fresh.
I always think we're seeing it now more than ever. I'm the last of the millennials, right? So I'm I can decide who I want to be.
What does that mean? Does that mean I'm not a millennial?
No, you are a millennial. How old are you? Older than me?
I'm 32.
Yeah, you are a millennial.
31 actually.
But we're at
32 on Saturday.
We're at the bottom of, I'm the last millennial year, basically. Is 96.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
So, but if I look at all of my friends who are whatever, maybe my age to 8 years above me, they still went into the working world with this strict structure of what you needed to do, what traditional work was going to look like, right? You were going to go and get a degree, then you're going to work up within that industry, and that was just going to be it for the rest of your life. And only really Desperate Housewives had a career change ever.
Yeah.
Or if you were a sports person, you could ride that wave for as long as you could, and then you'll probably end up coaching that sport, and that was that.
Yeah.
And then there were a few of us that were oh, we want to pursue the arts.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was okay, well, in 5 years' time, you'll be back at uni and whatever, fine. But now, majority of those strict-faced jobs, they don't exist anymore. Those career paths don't exist anymore. So now you're faced with this, group of people who did all of their, learning in early 20s on this linear path that no longer exists anymore, and now they have to deviate anyway. So actually, not having a structured plan to follow is probably one of the best things possible.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And it sort of seems extraordinary, I think, even 3 years ago. So to kind of add to the story, I then ended up founding a creative tech company with a friend of mine who was also an actor. There was a video sharing platform for performers, basically. So we were trying to cross YouTube with LinkedIn. It's the easiest way of explaining it.
Okay.
And at the time, developers were unbelievably hard to hire and unbelievably expensive.
Yeah.
And this was probably
3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Pre-COVID, so it would have been 2019.
Okay, yeah.
And if someone had told me then that there will be a point in the next 5 years where you don't need
a developer,
you can just literally type in what you want into a bit of software and it'll create an app for you.
Yeah, mad.
We probably spent 400 grand on developers that now would probably cost you 400 quid. It's actually staggering.
It's actually gross.
And those were probably, if you said to me then, what profession would you do if you want to earn the most money and have the safest job? I'd probably say developer 5 years ago. Yeah. And now, no chance. Lawyers, gone.
Disaster.
Doctors, gone. Surely.
Well, the ones that are about are, what are they doing?
What are they doing?
What is a GP doing right now?
What is a GP doing? Actually, so my stepdad used to be a GP, and he was saying that a friend of his went into his GP, and he had asked him the thing, and then he just put it in ChatGPT.
Yeah. Well, when I had my Bell's palsy, full facial paralysis, the head of whatever at Chelsea Westminster sat in front of me and Googled what medication I should take. And I was, I mean, if my face could talk, it couldn't at that point. I was unhappy about it. I mean, I was like, excuse me. She's like, I'm just going to double check. I was like, excuse me. My face is... I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to phone my mum. Because if we're all just going to be pulling out notepads, that's what I'm going to do.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah. Okay. So that, I mean, that's crazy. But you couldn't have known, right? We couldn't have known where the shit was going to go.
No. And like, you know, doing that as a thing, like starting a company, raising a load of money. We got quite a big grant.
Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Are you still mates with your mates?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
I was with them yesterday.
Good.
Actually.
That's super positive as well.
Yeah. And like, you know.
Okay. And in all of this, you're acting, you're auditioning. What happened to that?
Yeah. So kind of throughout the whole time, I've been acting, working. I mean, after drama school, I stayed with the agent I had before and like didn't get any auditions. So I left them, signed with someone else. And then, similar way, like I guess I kind of got lucky in that I booked a few things. I did an ITV show called The Larkins, which was a remake of The Darling Buds of May, which Brits will probably have heard of, which was how Catherine Zeta-Jones got her break. It was like a big, I guess.
I'm gonna have to Google it later.
Sitcom? It's kind of a sitcom. I don't know. It's like a kind of family comedy drama.
Okay.
And then
We're gonna have to pull up some of these clips.
Yeah. I literally, my clips from this are so funny. And then I did Ted Lasso, which was obviously quite big. And then I did
Hectic. I didn't know that.
Something else, yeah. And then at the time, I'd actually just signed with a new manager who was managing my like presenting and Instagram work. And then he was part of an agency called United, who are one of the biggest acting agencies in the UK. And he said to me basically around this time, I'm actually going to leave and set up on my own. So do you want to come with me? And basically I'll charge you less commission. I was like, yeah, I will. But can you put a word in with the acting department to see if anyone wants to sign me? And thankfully his now wife had just been given her own book, which is like your own, you could assign your own clients basically under the agency's name. So I signed with her.
Okay.
And that kind of like unlocked way more work and way more auditions and just made that whole side of my life feel a bit more like, cool, this is going somewhere.
Okay, nice.
And then
Amazing.
actually hadn't booked anything for about a year, so I say that.
But I mean, a year in like the acting industry is it's not a big amount of time.
Yeah, and I think I look younger than I did a year ago.
Sure.
Yeah, although actually, anyway, go on.
Okay, so all right, so that's the acting. So now, pre-COVID, you've got the digital agency that didn't quite take off. Mm-hmm. Fine. COVID happens.
No,
what happened then?
The digital agency did take off.
I
just left it.
The LinkedIn
cross. So that didn't. Yeah. So basically, this agency is so creative that I started with my friend from uni.
That is still.
That is now doing really well. Okay. He runs that. He actually has just moved back here, but he was running that out of Dubai. He's got a big office in India. That did really well. And thankfully, he kind of bought me out of that. So at the time, it was like, okay, I've got a bit of like,
I can figure out my next move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is, when we did that. And then we grew, we probably had like 15, 20,000 users, but we just struggled to make money. And then the whole kind of global market for startups changed a lot. People were just pumping money at high growth startups. And then it became, you need to be making money.
Yeah.
Which kind of like when your long-term strategy is to like get to a point at which
well you just it cut everyone's scales down, like time scales down, right? Like there was no more of this like 5 years of just like operating and then you can start talking about profit. It was like let's see it now.
Exactly. Yeah. So that didn't work, which actually funny enough I so vividly remember, like we pivoted a few times to try and do different things with like the community that we had and the app that we had, and I so vividly remember it being over and the relief of like just not having the stress of trying to like what felt like move a boulder uphill for 4 years. Like it was unbelievably stressful.
I think it's really difficult when you're in a bit of like startup hell like that or whatever. Maybe it's like, you know, pursuing something, auditioning, whatever. Like it's hard because obviously it could just be the next door. It could just be the next month. It could just be the next quarter. It could just be this thing. It could just be this pivot.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, once you've been doing that and everything, like everyone says, oh, but have you tried? And you're thinking, I've tried that 4 times over.
Yeah.
And then they're going, oh, but maybe you just need to. And you're thinking, I've done that in 5 different languages already.
Yeah.
Oh, but what if you just, and like people are trying to be super helpful, and you're just going through that list and you're like, I did that already 6 times. Like I've got, yes. And you start to just realize like.
Yeah.
But I think, you know what, I also think it's a skill to learn. Like we always talk about like learning how to fail and failing fast and failing well and whatever, but like actually no one likes to fail, so don't talk shit. Like no one wants to be like, okay, it's not natural for anyone to be like, this is a failure, even though we've pumped loads of money and hours and stress into it, we're not just going to walk away. Like it's not normal thinking.
No.
It is definitely a skill, but it's also quite, I've got a few friends who've either like sold businesses or walked away from things. I myself have walked away from things, and it's weird how relieving it can actually be, because you think like, I think when you're in it, you think there's no, I'll die on this hill.
Yeah.
I'll never get out of it. I'll either be here forever or we'll succeed, and that's it. And like, you just don't know, right? Life can be anything. Sometimes you just need to walk away from whatever the hell has got you stuck.
Yeah. 100%. And I think, you know, if you leave something, whether it's successful or not, and the feeling is relief, you've probably done the right thing.
Yeah.
And knowing when to quit, like you say,
Yeah.
it's like, you only get, 85 years? Maybe we'll get 120 or something, our generation.
85?
But let's say you get 80 healthy years, so like 60 healthy adult years.
Half of those already gone.
Half of those are already gone, yeah. My healthy years are gone. I'm about to go downhill rapidly. Yeah.
No, it's crazy. Why do you want to stay in something just for the sake? Just
also, you've got plenty of time to do something different.
Yeah.
There's always time to like do something different.
Yeah. I actually heard something the other day where it was like, you know, the question of, it was like, it was an interview, I can't remember who it was, obviously it was really impactful. And they were like, you know, what does the next 6 months look like? And she was like, I'm glad I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Like, how boring would it be if I could predict, if I could say in 6 months this is exactly what I want? Like, you know, I know that I don't want to be, you know, without my loved ones and blah, 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 but I'm so open to like any form of direction that things can take.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it feels reckless, especially I guess if you're like a little bit type A, but the thing is life's going to do it anyway, right? Life is going to throw those curveballs anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now we're in COVID. Now what?
Yeah, so we're in the middle of doing this business during COVID, which actually was incredibly helpful for us because our whole concept was like taking everything online, and everything had to go online. Yeah, so we actually grew quite quickly, which is really exciting. And I just met Natalie, my now wife. We'd probably been together like 6 months when COVID happened, I think. And then she came to live at my mum's, which was actually incredibly stressful. But also, you know, it was like the foundation for, I guess, our relationship now.
Were you living together already?
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
Nice. Big step.
Big step.
We like big steps.
Yeah, and Natalie's family aren't in the UK, so
like what? You were like, you were going to be a bit of a dick if you were like, don't come live with me.
Yeah, but it wasn't even that. It was more like, well, we don't live together, so like, I don't really want to stay in London.
Yeah.
She didn't want to stay in London, so it just kind of made sense.
Nice. Best decision you ever made.
Yeah, best decision ever made.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was all right. I mean, I actually quite enjoy COVID.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I mean, when I look back now, I'm like...
I mean, obviously, I'm sorry for everyone that lost
didn't,
loved ones and
course.
thankfully didn't. And I did get quite ill, but apart from that, it was just like a...
Well, I think it was like, it was a pause, right?
Yeah.
And I think for many people, like, it hopefully, once the panic cleared and whatever sort of like initial danger you may or may not have been facing throughout the time... I mean, people who are separated, like, you know, that was quite stressful, and that was easy to be like the thing you focused on, you know, like whatever. But it was forced perspective. So it was this like universal sign that sometimes you can have every single one of your little duckies in a row, and you can do all the things and you can make all the sacrifices, and they are still factors beyond your control. And at the end of the day, like, you know, you need to make decisions that you're going to be happy with in any environment, not just like, I'm okay with stepping on this person because it's going to get me this job. Are you still okay with yourself for doing that if that job no longer exists? Because that's kind of what it did. It took away construct, which was kind of scary, but I think pretty enlightening. I think now we're seeing that as well. Like, now that we're out of sort of the haze of it, we're like, oh yeah, actually do I want to work fucking 80 hours a week? Probably not. No.
Yeah, especially in an office.
Yeah, with like no sunlight.
And for some people, like, you know, I think that is the way they want to work. And I think we're now at a point where it's sort of everything's leveling out, and the people that were like, actually, this isn't for me, stop doing it, and have moved to other things. And the people that are like, this is for me, are now back in the office 5 days a week, and that's absolutely
and they
fine.
love it, which is great.
Yeah.
But like the perspective is just there to give you a chance to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because before we just like, again, we're just in the system, right? We were like, this is what you do, so this is what you do. This is what is done, so this is what we're doing. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Yeah.
Completely.
Okay. And this is when you turn into a coach.
Yeah, exactly. Which is the best thing I've ever done. So I always played, as I said, like loads of sport and rugby at quite a high level. And then I actually did my personal training qualification with Natalie during COVID, just because I was interested, and I was training a lot in the gym. And then when I was running the business, as I said, like my life was just unbelievably stressful. I didn't have much time at all. I wasn't really prioritizing myself. So I kind of had to work out a way that I could train as efficiently and effectively as possible, and like try and stay flexible, because
within those constructs, because when you run a business, it's like, you know, it's like having a child that never grows up. It's like you can't always, there's only so much you can plan. You have to be, you know, if something's going to take a little bit longer, it demands your attention immediately now. There's not really like, especially when it's in, like when a business is in those startup phases, right? It's so crucial that you like don't go to bed until it's sorted out. You don't push, you know, things to tomorrow or to next week or whatever. So I think a lot of founders find that, right? The first couple of years, your priorities have to shift. You can't have all of them. We like the message of having it all and balancing everything, but it's hard. Yeah. There has to be some give. And sometimes all that means is that you're giving in, like, if you're someone who's training for 3 hours a day, now you're someone who's training for 30 minutes a day. You're still training, but you've had to have a bit of flex. So it sounds like that's what you were trying to find. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And did find, really. As in you created it? Well, I just sort of created a world in which I could be flexible in like the amount of time I was training. I could be flexible on the days I was eating well, on the days that I would just have a bit more freedom to go out and, I don't know, do like investor dinners or whatever it might be. Yeah. Lots of socialising. Exactly, yeah. And obviously with that comes drinking, food. So then when Flarebox finished, I sort of had to have a look at myself and be like, what are you going to do? And that seemed like quite a natural progression, because I'd already had a couple of friends who I'd sort of helped with their like health, basically, who are also founders, and it worked really well for them. So I was like, well, I'll just start actually turning this into a bit of a kind of system. Yeah, nice. And then just literally, I'd say I started doing CEO Fit, which is my fitness business, maybe 2 months after we stopped doing Flarebox, and then that was probably November 23. Okay. November 23, and I've just been scaling that really since. And it's just all online? All online. I have one client who I see in person, but like I don't take any others on, basically. Okay, nice. He just kind of gets a special favour from me. But yeah, it's all online. I work with clients from Sydney to New York to Mexico to all over the world. Yeah. And have you sort of grown and scaled that through your socials, or? Yeah, mostly through socials and actually word of mouth. Like a lot of people, like I train some clients who are like, I train their partner now, or like I train their brother or their sister, or blah blah blah. And it's great because I mean I'm really interested in health and fitness as an overall topic. I'm not interested enough to just want to scale a business coaching anyone. So everyone I coach, this sounds a bit of a weird thing to say, but everyone I coach is someone that I find quite interesting in terms of their like life and what they do. So I'm actually kind of like picky with it, I guess. Yeah, well, that's cool. And to be honest, you start to learn the attributes in people that you know will mean they can succeed with it or they can't. And I think once you have like a base level of income from a business from like anything, that, or from anything, you start to think, okay, well, I want this to be gratifying for me, and I want it to be enjoyable, and I want, in this business, my clients to get results. So yeah, it means that now I'm quite lucky that I can mostly train people that I know are going to get a lot out of it, and yeah. I mean, I think this is where like people talk about like your dream job, right? I had a client say to me the other day, like, oh, you know, her job's fine. She's like, I don't think I'll ever find my dream job. And I was like, yeah, I mean, what does that even mean? And she's like, what do you mean, Kerryn? You have your dream job. And I was like,
yeah, this
I was
is
like,
your dream.
what is it? But I mean, if you think about it, I mean, obviously I do have a great job. So, and what makes it great is like, there are elements of it. It's not because as a little girl, I dreamed about like helping people lift their arm above their shoulder when they had a frozen shoulder. That's not anything that ever crossed my mind, but it does encompass like working with someone who has like a journey in front of them, a task in front of them that they need to overcome.
Yeah.
Helping them understand that although things haven't worked before, we can now get like, we can figure it out. We've got a problem in front of us. We're going to solve it. There's like, you know, I myself have never worked with pure fitness clients because it doesn't interest me. Like you being the fittest of the fit or whatever you're trying to do, it doesn't interest me at all. I think it's great and I think it's important, but it's not interesting to me. So I think when you're like, I think that's a great way to look at it, because we can all go into like, we'll have maybe a career change and think, oh, you know, I love Pilates, let me teach Pilates. Okay, but you like, what did you love about it? Did you love the community of it? Because then you're probably going to be a really good studio owner, because you're going to be focused on the community aspect and like what it means to you and what the ethos is. If you just really enjoyed working out and being in sick shape, you probably shouldn't become an instructor, because the likelihood is that's gonna like, it's not gonna come with you, because you're gonna be hella burnt out being an instructor, you know. So like just thinking it through a little bit more. So I think being in a position where you can be picky with who you work for, first of all, as a coach, I actually think is super important. Yeah. Because otherwise, like, what you're basically saying is I'm delivering a personal service, but I don't care about the person that I'm working with, which means how invested in their results can you be? Yeah. I worked with a bodybuilding coach once. Yeah.
I've not done that.
And I remember it was really hard to sign with him. And like, he basically had these phases where like you could come on as basically more of a lifestyle client, and you could then work with him for like 6 months. And then if you wanted to compete, he basically auditioned you. And I remember listening to him talk about it once, and it sounded like, from the get-go, it sounded like a bit wanky, right? It was like, oh, what the hell, this guy. But he just said, he was like, look, like, if I'm going to get you through a competition or whatever, like, this is what I require, and this is what is required of you. This is what I'm bringing. This is what you need to bring. I only enjoy it if I met with the right. He only trained female clients. He was like, men are too fickle. Like, they're too, they only want to do it when it's good. Right. Whereas like women are a lot more tenacious, and like they're going to get through their struggles. Yeah. Again, I was like, how is he just like, and he just said, he was like, that was what he enjoyed about the job, and that's how he built his business. And I'm like, at the end of the day, probably didn't invest in a single person, or like at least invested 90% of his time and had 90% fulfillment, because you've like selected where it's going, which I think is where a lot of people like, where they lose the joy in their life. You know, if like you love interior design and then you work for a big firm and no one ever sees your actual design, or you don't get to see the end product of it, you've lost that like direct link of what you enjoy. Yeah,
or at least the part of it you enjoy. I think that also comes down to, I think it's very easy to think, you know, I dream of doing X or I dream of doing Y, but the main thing really is finding, in my opinion, finding something that you're actually good at. Yeah. Like, it's
like, what are you talented at?
Yeah, what are you actually talented at, and what are you talented at that can actually serve someone else, or means you can create something that someone else will buy. Yeah. Like, that's the easiest way, I think, to look at. And you know, I've kind of come down, you know, running a tech business is not something that I'm particularly good at. Like, at the end of the day, I'm quite good at managing people. I get on well with people. I don't know anything about coding. And nor did my co-founder. Yeah. And we wanted to basically change an industry that we're really passionate about, but the way we went by doing it was not our skill set at all. And actually taught me very quickly, like, it's really, really hard to live your life every day thinking, I'm completely out of my depth. And I think that's, you know, people often think I'm out of my depth on whatever it may be, but there's a difference between being out of your depth and thinking, I know that I'll be able to make it work. Yeah. And being out of your depth and thinking, I'm touching at straws and I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm not the right person for this. Yeah. I think that's also something that, like, you got to get really honest with yourself about. Like, there are I think in any business there'll be aspects that like you are the right thing for, but I mean you can't expect yourself to be the best fit for each bit.
And that's where you hire people, I guess, as soon as you can. But as a founder, you do everything at first, and you very quickly learn what you can and can't do, and what you want to like, and like what drains you. Do you know what I mean? Because I mean, we'll often hear from like founders and entrepreneurs being like, I love doing like XYZ, and then there's one aspect of it like fucking crushed me. Okay, cool. Then that is the first thing that you hire out. Yeah, outsource or to get eyes to.
Now you just
ChatGPT
and it'll do it. But like back in the Disney, you had to actually fork out for that shenanigans.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you got your CEO Fit.
CEO Fit. Yeah.
Nice. So and does that you only work with CEOs, or is that more
mostly founders, execs, like senior management?
And is that because it's like high pressure jobs and environments, a little bit of like small time? You got to do that whole like effective.
Yeah. Honestly, part of the reason is because these are people that they don't have the time to like be at you about things.
Yeah.
Like I've trained people before who are like, so why is it exactly that? I'm like, I actually was Googling and it said this on ChatGPT, and I'm like, well, don't ask me.
My best is like, I was thinking of doing this workout with 2 dumbbells instead of the Smith bar.
Yeah. All right.
I'm like, when you're alone in the gym, I'm putting you on the Smith bar because I want you to lift 80. If you're going to pick up a 40 kg fucking dumbbell in each hand, then off you go.
Yeah.
Or go do it yourself. I don't know. Like, I always tell you that.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, so like that's kind of the joy of my client base is that, I mean, most of them don't really have time to do much else apart from like, they'll ask the odd thing if they're not sure about it.
Yeah.
But they'll do what they're told.
Yeah.
Which and I know that that's what gets you results. So it means that my job's rewarding.
Yeah, and then there's also that like trust, right? Because they trust the process. You trust that they're going to do it. There's minimal friction.
Yeah.
Maximum success.
And it comes back to what we were just saying in terms of most founders, CEOs, senior execs, they know what they're really good at.
Yeah.
And they know what they're not really good at.
Yeah, so they can say, whatever, I'm really good at finding the time, I'm not good at deciding what it is. Or...
Well, more like, I'm really good at finance, I'm not really good at fitness.
Yeah.
So I'll hire someone who is good at fitness to teach me fitness.
To just sort it out, that's fine.
In the same way as they will, I'm really good at finance, I'm not really good at public speaking, so I'll get someone in my team to do big talks if necessary. Or they're used to delegating.
Yeah,
which is helpful.
Which is good. Yeah. It's also one of those things which I'm sure you will have heard a few times as an entrepreneur. Is like, it's like you don't want to be convincing when you're trying to sell something. You don't first want to be convincing them that it's why it even exists.
Yeah, that it's valuable.
Like you want to be in the right room. Like you don't want to be preaching Christianity to,
non-Christians.
Non-Christians.
Atheists.
Let's put it that
Let's
way.
go with that.
You want to be in the right room in the right space, because it just makes your job just that much easier.
Yeah.
You've got to I found that a lot with the sort of like pain management business is like trying to sell the prevention was really difficult because no one's been in pain yet, so no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
But if I'm in front of someone who's like, I've been struggling with this for X amount of time, it's completely different, and then just recognizing like that's just an easier space for me to be in.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you've set yourself up quite well.
Yeah. I mean, it's great.
And now, I mean, at the moment, I feel like you're really enjoying the creator side of things.
Yeah. I was thinking about this conversation earlier and thinking like, I think after we finished Flarebox, which, like I say, like it was an amazing journey, it was an amazing experience, it was incredibly stressful, it was very all-consuming. After that, I've sort of tried to gear my life around where do I have the most to offer, how can I do that the most efficiently as possible and give myself as much time to do more things that I really enjoy doing. So I wake up in the morning and think, I'm looking forward to doing my life today. And one of those is doing content on socials, which I love doing. And again, like that started off being food and fitness. I started to think I don't really enjoy actually making content doing this. So now I just do silly videos that I find funny and enjoy making.
That actually do great.
Yeah.
They do so well.
Yeah,
they literally do so
viral.
Well.
And then,
pretty viral.
Yeah. And then auditions now, like whenever I get an audition, I have as much time as I need to go over it, analyse it.
Do you still have like quite big ambitions within the acting space?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. Do you have like I'd be Meryl Streep?
Yeah, I mean, I would be Daniel Craig by virtue of him being James Bond. But I think
Okay.
Bond would be like the...
Bond, like that kind of character.
Yeah. Although, I mean, they've clearly just cast someone who's probably going to be like my age. So I feel like I probably...
Missed
I
that
don't know.
boat.
Yeah, I might just quit. We'll see.
Might just throw it away.
Yeah.
Okay, so like big action.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, which like fits. And actually, that being an actor is a really interesting sort of case study of finding what specifically you offer that's unique and different, that's valuable to other people. So for me, it's like, because I've always loved fitness, I'm in good shape, I'm strong, I'm quite tall.
It's kind of a,
It just fit, like that fits, you know, and it's tempting to be like, okay, maybe I need to slim down, then I can play Romeo or blah, 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 whatever it may be. But actually, that's just not what I naturally can bring to the table.
Well, you bring more resistance then to your own life, right?
Exactly.
And I think as someone who's gone from like, who's like a multi-hyphenate, so to speak, like you can't do all of that successfully with maximum resistance.
Yeah.
You want to find, okay, cool, where am I going to fit in? And it's so funny because I mean, most of the like big talks that you'll listen to and big episodes and big like whenever anyone is talking about their like success story, a lot of it clicks when they either like just start serving their strengths or they become their authentic self. And all that really means is you figure out what your strengths are and what your actual talents are, and you play within that and to that.
Yeah.
So you create the least resistance, because all we can really control is the small bit around us. You have no idea what external resistance you're going to get. So why put yourself in an already difficult position?
Yeah, when you don't need to. And actually, it's the same with characters. Like if I'm playing a role, auditioning for a role, I will try and bring that role as close to me as I can, because that's what I can do naturally most easily.
Yeah.
And actually, that's what I bring to a casting director that is looking for someone to play the role. Like, if I don't know, let's say I go to a role and try and play it as a certain way,
Like a really stern...
whatever, yeah, in a way that someone who is very unlike me might do, you can almost guarantee there will be someone in the room that will audition in trying to do a similar style to me, but that's who they are. So it will be much better than my attempt at doing that.
Yeah.
Basically.
Or like best case scenario, you will get that and it'll just be like, it's just been an exhausting job because you're like, wow, this is so far away from like where I'm sitting and like where my skill set
and my truth.
sits. And my
I
truth.
guess.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's chat a little bit about, you've mentioned a lot that your passion sort of throughout has been health and fitness. And obviously being an actor, as you've just said, like your physique is one of your main things, so you're looking after yourself. I also know from knowing you personally a little bit, like you are really dedicated to your exercise, keeps you in a good mental state as well.
Yeah, massively.
So let's talk a little bit about how's that developed over the years. So obviously when you're playing sports at school, I feel like it's always a bit automatic.
Yeah,
and
100%.
How did that transition?
Yeah, so I mean, school, uni, I was just training like as part of a team really.
Yeah.
So like generally you're pretty fit, doing like 2 or 3 gym sessions a week. Kind of, you have a lot more time, so...
Yeah, well, you're in that bubble, right?
You're in that bubble,
you're just in that, like...
That's kind of what's important to you. And then after uni, I was still doing, I was doing 4 or 5 gym sessions a week, lifting heavy weights, doing one set, next set. I'd be in there for an hour and a half or something like that. And actually, to be honest, quite enjoyed it. And then when I was at drama school, they really encouraged me to like lose a bit of weight because I was, I was a 12, so inside centre, which is like quite big. I was a 10 at first, put on a bit more weight. I was probably like 93, 94 kilos, 6'2", so I was quite like a big guy, I guess. And then, at drama school, they kind of encouraged me to lose a bit of weight, so I was a bit more malleable casting wise.
Okay.
So then I got down to about 88 kilos, started running quite a lot.
Okay, nice.
Did a marathon in London. And then after that, I've kind of started balancing both a bit more. So like I run
You
2 or 3
enjoy the
times
running?
a week. I love running, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Love it. And I never used to love it.
What's your like casual pace?
Depends how far I'm running. But I tend to do like...
What was your marathon time?
Marathon time was 3:15.
Okay.
So that's like 4:40 splits or something.
Great.
Something like that. But I did train like an
So
absolute dog for
average,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, so pretty average.
So pretty.
And then when I was doing flare box, I was trying to run 2 or 3 times a week, struggling to trying to train 2 or 3 times a week, really struggling to. So I started supersetting everything in the gym.
Okay,
so
quick.
I'd do like, 2, whatever I was doing. Let's say I was doing bench press into chest flies. I would just do bench press straight into chest flies and then have a rest, which is kind of the basis of everything I do now. So whenever I'm in the gym, I'll do 45-minute sessions max, and I'll tend to do pretty much as I used to do. Slightly lower weight, slightly higher
Rep count,
yeah, and slightly faster, basically. So it means my heart rate's up a bit more throughout. My metabolism's probably higher than it used to be.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think is more successful? Obviously, they've got different goals in mind.
Yeah,
but
it depends what you want to do. I think if you want to be in great shape and you want to feel good and you want to look good on the beach, then you should be in the gym for 45 minutes to an hour. And just crush it out.
Just crush it out, yeah.
Because
that pace helps you.
Different.
Like that, the pace, as you said, like it's not boring, and your heart rate is higher.
Yeah.
Like you're going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who has the time. I don't know who has the time for the 2-hour sessions. And if you do, and because you've planned your life around it, like that's amazing. That's fantastic. That's your thing.
Yeah.
But I think this is where we get lost, right? This is what I'm always saying about your basic. You never have to do a 50-minute Pilates class. It's like there's like 3 things you need to do and you're done. Like the rest of it is all enjoyable. So if you really don't have time, you could build a really balanced workout in an hour. You could be getting your cardio, you could be getting your muscle building, you could be getting your like alignment, your mobility, whatever you want to call it, all in 60 minutes.
Yeah. And I think the whole thing is so, like, the whole health and fitness and all that space is so vast. You've got yoga, you've got Pilates, you've got lifting weights, you've got running, you've got swimming, you've got cycling, you've got triathlons, you've got all of this stuff. And it is quite overwhelming. Like one thinks, how am I going to fit all of that stuff into my life?
Yeah.
And it becomes about finding, okay, what do you actually find easy? What fits into your life best? Do as much of that as you can. And then if there are other things that you do need to do, so, back to that original example, if you're someone that loves lifting weights, go and lift weights 5 times a week. That's much
fine.
better than, exactly.
It's much better than sitting on your couch in like decision paralysis.
And being stuck,
Because you're like, well, I should do a little bit.
Yeah.
But now you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Find something you enjoy. And that's easily accessible to you. The amount of people that I talk to that are like, oh, well, I just got to wait until whatever happens so that I can do this. And I'm like, this plan is not for you. It's inaccessible.
Yeah.
Like, stop waiting for that. Let's start you like on your bedroom floor with no dumbbells. You'll be fine. And then yes, when eventually it's accessible that you get into a gym, then we can look at that. That's fine.
Yeah, 100%. And that actually is the reason I don't do any like outbound stuff anymore.
Yeah.
When I was starting it, obviously I was like, I need clients really badly because I've got no money coming in. But now, like, I don't ever approach anyone because unless someone is ready to start doing something, it's just a waste of time for both of us to even have the conversation.
Also, no one out there, none of you need to be convinced that you should be taking your physical well-being seriously. Like, it's 2026.
I see, yeah.
Like, you know what the consequences.
Spoilers, you shouldn't.
It's a lie, bring back cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's literally like, you know what the consequences are. There's enough research out there. Like, if you want to make change, then make it happen.
Yeah,
like,
you got to want to.
That's it. You got to want to. And look, no coach is going to get you through something you don't want to do. I, as a coach, don't do things I don't want to do. Like, genuinely, I don't. I know I should do them. I'll be in pain if I don't do them. I still don't. Unless I want to. Unless I'm like, oh, I really want to do this so that X, Y, Z.
Yeah. I guess if it only works if the pain of not doing it anymore outweighs the pain of doing it. Yeah. Basically.
And hopefully you don't allow yourself to get to that spot because that's like the definition of like really tough learning, which you don't need to be in.
Like rock bottom, I guess. That's what they call that in the drugs business.
In the drugs business, that is rocky body. Okay.
Your RB.
Okay, so...
So silly. You don't want to argue with the health and fitness.
The drugs business.
Yeah.
Health and fitness is a lie.
Yeah.
It really is, though. Just do your push-ups. Go for a run.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, it's simple.
Literally. I always tell my clients, I'm like, especially with the ones that travel, I'm like, if you can just do some push-ups and go for a run. They're like, no, impossible. I'm like, literally so possible.
So possible.
Literally so possible.
Push-ups particularly, I think. But also, with all of this stuff, it's so easy once you just start.
Yeah.
In the same way as, like...
Just get off zero.
Just get... even like going for a run. In fact, I will often say to myself, like, I'm going to go for a run today, but I'm going to take it really easy. And very often, they're the runs where I run fastest. Because I haven't built this thing up in my head. I'll just be like, okay, maybe I'll go run 5K. And then I'm like, actually, I feel all right. This is quite fun. I'm enjoying it. Bang.
Half marathon.
Suddenly I've run 100K. Right, I've never run anywhere.
I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, but it is just starting, which also taking out any barriers to you starting. So stupid things like having your gym kit packed in the morning so that you don't have to worry about it. Making sure the gym is either on the way to work or close to your house or close to work, so it doesn't add more resistance to you getting in there. Making sure it's a gym that you like being at and that is quite nice, and maybe you have a sauna afterwards so that there's something to reward you afterwards. All those things will tie in.
Yeah, just like create the path of least resistance, romanticize it a little bit. You know, you're not going to want to do it if there's so many elements of it that you hate. Yeah. Like, we're just not wired like that. Okay, great. So you keep yourself busy with your running. I see you just did a High Rocks.
Yeah, just did a High Rocks in December.
Nice.
Yeah.
How was that?
So good. I loved it.
Cool.
That's kind
is
of
that just like a combination of all of your favorite things?
Kind of.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and in like a group, and I did it with a mate, which I like. Obviously, that like team thing, you lose. I think for anyone that's played a lot of
if you've come up in a team sport, then I think that's so hard to let go of.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Do you swim? Do you ever do like triathlon-y bits?
I don't, but I did play a swimmer in a movie once. So I swam for maybe for 6 months.
Did you know how to swim before?
Yeah. I actually swam county when I was sort of 13 or 14.
I just feel like most British people don't know how to swim.
Oh, really? Do you reckon? I feel like they do.
I think in like South Africa, it's like we get thrown in the pool at 6 months old.
Or you're going to overheat.
You just die. Yeah.
You don't get that problem there. But yeah, my mum actually swam for England. So that's why I swam quite a lot.
It's in the genes.
It's in the genes.
Nice. Okay.
But as I say, I trained for this film, and then after that, I was like, I just don't think I ever want to swim again, really, because it was just it was a lot.
Fair. It was a bit intense.
It's hard. It's really hard.
Swimming's exhausting.
Exhausting.
Oh my God, it is exhausting. We swam as kids, and now I realise, for my mum, it must have been the cleverest thing ever, because she swam when we trained as well, and we would do 2.5-hour sessions in the evening. We'd just be knackered. We'd go straight to bed.
Straight to bed.
There's no you get home, you eat whatever's put in front of you because you're starving.
Yeah.
And you're asleep.
Clever. And also a lot of in the UK, I don't know if it's the same as Africa, but a lot of swimming training it would be before the leisure centre opens. So it would be you'd be up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And then in the evening I'd be going to bed I'd be so tired. So same thing.
Just exhaust zapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so at the moment you got a little bit of everything going on, right? So creator, that you enjoy that a lot.
Yeah.
You got a little golf thing going as well, which is cool.
Yeah.
You still got the coaching business.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Acting,
of course.
Auditioning.
Do you reckon you always
help my wife's business a bit?
Have many things. So.
Yeah.
It's exciting, isn't it?
I also I've got ADHD, which makes me I just honestly even if I do the same thing for more than a morning, I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
So when I have quiet days, I struggle, and when I don't have loads of stuff to do, I kind of struggle.
Yeah.
Because then I just feel like I'm bored, and then I get stuck in a rut of being like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So I like having a full plate. I like having a full plate. This is the thing. Yeah. I started doing some therapy in January, and I think that's always something that I've been I overwhelm myself. And my therapist was like, what are you like when you don't have loads to do? And I was like, I hate it. And he was like, so maybe you're not overwhelming yourself. Maybe you're actually just keeping yourself occupied. And
I think this is where you gotta pick and choose what you're listening to when you're looking at all the things, because all of this balance, find this, find that. I know for myself as well, scheduling, I've been saying for the past 2.5, 3 years. I mean, I've been self-employed now for 7, 8 years. And I'm this is the year that I sort my schedule out, and I have this concept in mind that I should want this consistent, balanced schedule, this calendar that makes sense. It's color coded, nothing moves around. Well, first of all, I'm in the wrong industry for that, but also I've come to realize I fucking hate that. Yeah, Steve said to me the other day, I'm like, I need to get rid of weekend work. I need to get rid of weekend. He's like, you can't do 2 days off in a row with nothing to do, Kerryn. And I was like, I need it. I need the rest. He's like, no, you don't. No, you don't need the rest, but like,
but it doesn't suit
like
you.
it does not suit you. Like, you're gonna tear the house down. We're not gonna be able to look back.
This is not gonna work for both of us, including me.
Including me, I'm out. He's like, I also work 7 days a week for a reason. But like, we're both like that, where we're like, actually, and then I actually had a client say to me, like a couple months ago, and I was like, this year, the schedule, and she was like, you fucking hate a schedule, Kerryn. Like, you're really good at like moving things around and creating space, and like you're really good at then having space to take on things you want to do. And like, so what is this? But again, it's just like these weird constructs that we're like, oh, I should be trying to get to that point. But I mean, then we don't have space, we don't have fluidity, we don't have flexibility for new things, and there's nothing more exciting than new things, right? Like, or new avenues of the same thing but in different ways. And
definitely.
Okay. Let's get to some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot what they were.
I forgot what they were as well. Luckily, I've got my notes.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. So we kind of touched on this one already. So what is your dream acting role?
Bond.
Yeah. Is there a Bond you wish you could do? That's like,
Daniel Craig. I feel like the 2 of his Bond films are 2 of the best Bond films.
Which ones?
Casino Royale, I think, is number 1 for me. I think he's done 4. Quantum of Solace, Casino Royale, and 2 others. Casino Royale for me is the best Bond film.
Okay, so that's
sensational.
If they were like, we're remaking it, we're recasting
be so
Robbo,
good.
Can you do it all in a Jamaican accent?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I would not blink. I'd be going straight in there, and I'd be jumping straight on Bond.
I'd give you the role.
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine.
It wasn't offensive, I don't think.
I think about 3 people.
It's
gonna be fine. Okay. Kerryn gets dude, I don't.
That was also a British person doing it. That was my David Rodigan impression, actually.
I also don't need help getting cancelled, to be honest.
Cancelled together.
Okay, what are 3 simple things you do daily so you can give me 6 if you like, but maybe they're the same. 3 things you do daily to maintain your physique and your sanity, your mental well-being as well.
3 things I do daily. Okay, there's things I try to do daily. And there's things that I do daily in fits and starts.
Okay. I mean, daily, we say daily, but regularly.
Regularly.
Yeah.
I mean, I train most days.
You train most days.
I train between 5 and 7 times a week.
Okay.
Not always long, like sometimes just half an hour. Sometimes I'll train for an hour. Sometimes whatever I kind of feel like doing. I try and meditate every morning for 5 minutes.
Okay, nice.
Which I find incredibly helpful to just calm my brain. I'm getting better and better at not looking at my phone for the first hour of my day.
Nice. Takes a lot of practice.
And a lot of my life is on my phone.
Of course. Your businesses, your income, everything.
Yeah, so that's really helpful. I try and journal every day.
Okay.
Probably on average journal 4 times a week, maybe.
All right, not bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah. It's good.
That's
cool. I mean, that's I only asked for 3, but
yeah.
No, I'm joking. That's fine.
Yeah. It kind of makes me think. Like, I think I more and more do as much as I can to actually make my life as easy as possible. And I don't mean that in like as because
you want to be
slobby
lazy
as possible. Yeah, it's like I a lot of stress I think is completely self-inflicted. So if I can like just start to be at peace with the fact that I don't have to be doing X, Y, and Z that I don't really want to do, or that's stressful, or that makes my life feel hard. Like I historically, if life ever feels easy, I feel like I'm not pushing myself hard enough, when that's just not true. Like it can feel easy. You can feel it in flow. Yeah. You can find your rhythm, and I feel like you should allow yourself to. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we also get like hustle culture. We're like, it has to be a grind.
Get rid of the noise.
Not really. Like, it doesn't have to be a grind. It can just be like, yes, you have to be putting one foot in front of the other. But I mean, as an average runner, I have only like once or twice really been out for a run and like found my pace and found my groove, and then literally thought like, oh my God, this isn't hard.
Yeah.
And it's such a great feeling. I feel like that's what we should be chasing in our lives, right? Is like, how do we get it to feel like, yeah, I'm still out there, I'm still doing the run, I'm still putting one foot in front of the other, I'm still doing everything, but I'm like, I've taken away all those additional shitty barriers of resistance, and I'm like, yeah, actually this feels good.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a constant decision, right? Because it's life, it's like this. It's not like, oh, I'm going to do these 3 things and I'm in flow state.
Yeah, completely.
It's like consistent.
Yeah, but if it does feel too hard for too long, you're doing it wrong. I generally like, sounds simple, but that's what I think.
I like that. Okay, what are 3 bits of advice you'd give for any young multi-stream professionals such as yourself?
The first one would be find things that you're good at that you can make money doing. That's the biggest one by miles, because that makes everything else feel easier. If you're making enough money to get by, I genuinely think that's probably the most stressful thing in the world, maybe. If you're fighting to pay rent every month, it's really life's not fun.
It's exhausting, yeah.
And then there's a certain buffer above that just means that life isn't stressful in the same way.
Yeah.
Financially, it's more like fun. So that's one thing. Find something that you're actually good at, not just something you really want to be good at, or like you've seen other people do really well. Second thing would be going back to what we were saying. Like, if it feels too hard for too long,
it's probably wrong.
Then it's probably wrong for you. Which is kind of similar to the first thing, but that's more of like a, some people will. Let's go back to being a developer. Like, some developers will work 16 hours a day. They love it, and they're just cranking out code, and they're doing it day after day after day. And they're building an incredible tech company, and it's amazing. That's some people amazing. If you're trying to do that and it feels really, really hard, then you need to just think about why you're doing it and realistically think about what you could be doing differently to make your life not feel so hard day to day. And then I guess the final point is kind of the next step on that, which would be, if you're spending too many days waking up dreading what's coming today, then you need to change something, because it's not going to change itself.
Yeah. I like that.
That's a big one. And I've been there, and it's not nice.
Also, like, you don't deserve to be in that.
No.
In that, and it's not like there's no special place in the sky because you suffered through it. No. Like, just be brave enough to make the change.
Yeah.
You should not be dreading your life.
I sadly lost a family member very young. And like, from then onwards, this is about 7 years ago, like, everything I've done, I've just thought it generally could be the last day on earth. Like, it could be your last day on earth. And it actually happens a lot more often than we think. Like, I sort of looked into how often people die young, and it's pretty
terrifying.
Common. So yeah.
So make the most of it.
Make the most of it.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of The Simple Fix. I am your host, Kerryn. We're joined today with Rob. What a great chat. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.